1 year ago today, Spider-Man 2 Another World was released. To this day, I still do not understand how we actually did it. Like the scale, the story, it was insane. It was such a big project and I genuinely can't believe it's out there in the world. We've almost got 4 million views on it, which is outstanding. One thing that I'm so insanely proud of this film is that it's still to this day getting talked about. What this film means to you guys and the things that I've heard you guys say about it, the reviews you've posted, the little comments here and there, I am genuinely so proud of that film. There's things I'd change, there's things I'd do better, but it's the best I could have done at the time. As Another World is 1 year old today, I thought I'd dive in deep, go back in time and talk about 11 deleted scenes that could have made it in the film. Some of these deleted scenes were just not right for the film, some just weren't needed, and some was just a completely different film. So I'm so excited to show you all today. There are 11, so let's just get into it. Number 1 is Heath's Arrival.
First one that you started shooting on. The first one.
So at this point in the film's production, we didn't film anything. This was the first film we shot as a collective together. Heath was at a wedding and he shot some scenes of his Peter Parker at a job, and a portal will open up where I get transported into his world. Obviously, this was a completely different film at the time, so we just weren't used. And the clips weren't even saved. These were recorded off his camera. But yeah, it's amazing to see this. This is literally the first thing we ever shot. In the end, we didn't go that direction. We just got rid and never put it in the film. Number 2, the SpiderVerse.
You can get some help from his bug zapper friend, Electro.
Right, Harry Potter's world.
I'm sorry, did that hurt your skull?
To become Americans.
The more the bodies will pop up.
Okay. What do you suggest we do?
So that might seem really jarring, but at the time, before we even written the script, we had a special Spider-Man on board, someone named Roger King. You old school Spider-Man fan film lovers will know who Roger King is. He is the director of Peter's Web. And before we even started Another World, he agreed to come back as Spider-Man in our film. It never happened, he was too busy, so the idea was scrapped, but that was the beginning of our 3-way conversation. Number 3, the introduction of Eddie Brock. So this wasn't really a deleted scene, it was more of a deleted idea. Now, a few of you may know, but we tried to film a series before Another World called Brock, and it was going to show you guys the process of Eddie Brock and who he is and what he's about way before you saw him in Another World. In that series, he was going to have a love interest who sadly died. This scene was going to be a retelling of that, you know, showing that he misses her, showing that he's guilty. In the end, we completely cut it because we didn't film the series, we didn't feel like it was needed. She wasn't going to ever appear again, so what's the point of having her? So, in the last few months of releasing the film, I did a cut where I took all of her out and added loads of bit of him and Peter arguing. So, at that point in time, he was thinking about Peter other than his girlfriend. That makes sense. It works in the film. We were so happy that it worked because we was kind of worried about deleting that scene. But in the end, we changed it into something that actually worked. At that point in time, Eddie was really annoyed at Peter. His hatred was growing stronger, so it makes sense that he was thinking of him. Number 5, Peter at home.
It leaves them vulnerable to this.
Lucky you're even in here.
This scene was cut because it just wasn't needed. It slowed down the pace of the film. This happened straight after his first encounter with Eddie. And it just doesn't make sense that we slowed the pacing down that much. You show him making decisions, you show him choosing the path he wants to go down. We don't want to show that. We'd want to rather tell that in the emotion and the story so far. So we just kind of got rid. We just didn't need it. Number 6, the alleyway. Well, this whole scene was really strange for me. We filmed it, we edited it, we put it in the film, and it worked. But after watching the scenes before and after, and even reading it in the script, I was like, why has some random guy done this when Eddie's escaped and is a threat for Peter? Why isn't Eddie doing this? So we completely filmed the whole thing again with Eddie because it makes sense that it was Eddie, not just a random criminal. I have no idea why. I don't want to talk about it. Number 7, the reveal.
I don't want you to get hurt.
Well, what changed?
Wasting time.
Well, now you can waste it with me.
Gwen, look, I don't think you understand. Like, if there's a guy that out there just knows my identity, he'll go for the people that I love first. Like you, my Aunt May.
Pete,
I don't want you to get hurt.
I'm willing to take that risk if you are.
You're a lot braver than me.
Come on.
How do you make those shooter things?
As you can see, it's just an awful scene. The acting, the environment, everything just doesn't work. But it was fine because it didn't need it. We didn't need it. Like we know Peter's motivations. We know exactly what he's thinking at the time. We've been speaking about him having consequence, and he's always worried. So we didn't need that conversation. So it was fine to be cut. I hated that scene so much, and I'm glad it's gone. Like, there's a lot of awkward acting in the film. That was the worst. Number 8, we had a whole different end credit scene. Kind of different. It's the same kind of thing, but we dived more into the future of Peter and MJ. We didn't need it. Again, it was just fluff. It was just fluff we didn't need. We filmed it all, we edited it all, but in the end, we didn't need it. And I just thought, if we're gonna make a third one, then we don't want to see the baby. That's gonna be, that's gonna be introduced in the third one. So at that point, I'm more just taking it away and making it easy for the third one. And, going past the whole chapter, whereas that could be the main focus. So I just got rid and refilmed it. Number 9, another thinking scene.
I see trees are green and red roses too. I watch them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself.
So you guys might remember this in the first teaser trailer, but this was a prominent scene in the film. This is him deciding whether to go to Madame Web. Obviously, there's a lot of things going on. He had some downtime to think about if he wanted to go see Madame Web. In the film itself, he was on a building, and it's still a thinking scene, but it's a lot more prominent. We've got more of the old characters coming back in text messages, and it makes more sense rather than him being alone at night and just looking at a leaflet. So yeah, we just got rid. It was good for a teaser though, so I'm happy that we kept it for a teaser. Number 10, the most controversial scene in the film. Peter versus Peter.
Let's see what you got, Harry Potter.
Oh, you're such a dick. Come on, big bro.
So, as you can see, we filmed it, we did the action scenes, we did everything for it. But it just didn't work. Again, when we was doing that stuff, where it was just me and Heath, it was a completely different film. It wouldn't have been Another World. It would have been something completely different, less deep, less challenging. I don't think it would have been a feature film. It would have been cool. It would have been cool, but it would have been just for me and Heath. Which, probably for the best, probably not. It's something that we'll never know, I guess. And Roger King would have been cool having him in it. We all love a bit of Roger King. Last but not least, Peter and Eddie. So So this scene took place straight after my Spider-Man went to go see the intractable Spider-Man. He comes back, noticed that Gwen's missing, and goes to find her. He finds Eddie in a church alone, battling his inner demons, and tries to calm him down. And this is the time where Eddie now snaps. We just felt it was going to be so much better in the confined space of his home, his place, his environment with Gwen. So we just, again, we just changed that scene to the one we have now. It would have been cooler in the church, but we just didn't have Gwen there, and I guess it wouldn't have made sense that they're in a church, right? It would have made sense that they're in Eddie's house, even though the church would have been cooler. But in that scene, we also see that my Spider-Man is wearing another suit, which is the little bonus for today's episode. Here are my prototype suits that I was going to make. They're all cool. They're cool. I don't know what I was thinking about the thing with the blue thing on the mask, but it looks cool. Again, like Lost Cause, I was going to have a day and night cycle suit, but in the end we just went with the Another World suit we've got now, because I mean it suits my Spider-Man. It suits what we was going for. So yeah, we just kept that. There you go, guys. There's the deleted scenes from Spider-Man 2: Another World. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it gave a little bit more inside knowledge to the film and why bits are a bit choppy and some are a bit different from what you've seen in part 1 if we have the OG fans here. But yeah, this is the film we've got now, and this is why we didn't have them in. I think it was for the best. I think it was for the best. If there's anything you want me to do for this year-long anniversary of Another World, and to celebrate it, please let me know. We've got a ton of things we can do for it, but let me know if you actually want it, right? We've got a director's commentary we can do. We can do a behind the scenes of how we made the film. We can talk about what Another World could have been with Heaths, Spider-Man and Roger King's. We can make a blooper reel. Easter eggs and references, we've got so many of them that people just haven't seen yet. We can do a watch party and all watch it together. I can do a Q&A, absolutely anything you want for this film. Just let me know and I'll get to it, because there's a lot we haven't spoke about with this film. There's a lot of things we can talk about, and it will be so exciting to talk about. We're almost hit 4 million. It is insane. I just want to thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart. This film took the life out of me. It was the hardest thing I've ever done, but I do not regret a single second, and I'm so proud of how it turned out. And just a quick one before we go. I know that it's been copyright striked. I know that there's some sound off. It's really bloody annoying because we spent so long on it. There's just loads of little audio problems that I'd love to get fixed one day, but I won't re-upload it on YouTube. I'll re-upload it on my website so you can watch an uncompressed version of Another World. Again, guys, a huge thank you. Let me know if you want any of them things I mentioned earlier, and I'll get them done, because it'll be amazing to talk about this film again. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe. And if you guys want to show a little bit more support, I now have a Patreon where I upload loads of news of Spider-Man 3 of what we're doing. I've started posting loads of pictures of my new suit and how we're making it and the progress of that, and just the progress of the film in general. It's really cool. Come chat. And again, every little helps. It really does. Every little helps. Goes to this YouTube channel, goes to my film. And I'm so grateful for anyone that subs. And here's to another year.